Wow, look at that. That's the biggest truck I've ever seen. What the fuck? Wow. We're driving the baddest monster truck you've ever seen in your life. Most monster trucks, they got 2 wheels in the front that turn. This one's got 4. 4 54-inch wheels turning in the front, another 4 in the back. This is an 8-wheel monster truck. It took 5 years to build. It's got a 6.6 liter single turbo diesel engine running 25 pounds of boost with a Allison 1000 gearbox, 6-speed. This is a bad bitch. If the global zombie apocalypse or pandemic is coming to rain on your parade, this here will get you out of trouble. But it's not so good for getting McDonald's. It's really hard to get around, you know. It's good for bumping your head and feeling good.
Hi everybody, woohoo! Welcome to Hex Token channel, of course, and we're gonna have a fun time today. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. It's gonna be really cool. Let me just check the audio. Audio is good. Live chat is on, and of course, I wanted to do a shout outs here. A couple of shout outs. We're gonna have a few little bit of admin up the front here, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get into some of this. Let me just pull this up. I just want to give a shout out to some of the latest channel members here on Hex Token channel, and I do appreciate your support big time. Of course, we're doing 2 live streams on Pulsechain, Pulsex and Hex twice a day. And of course, we talk about a lot of Pulsechain projects and a lot of how-to videos and things like that. So if you want to subscribe, definitely subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Big shout out to the latest member, of course, Yadu 0304. Big shout out to you. Hex Force 1 has landed, rejoined as well. Or joined actually, Pulsechain. Big shout out. Kelly Delfino as well, rejoined. Heinz Crypto, of course, rejoined there. And Matt and Barley. And of course, many, many more. So big shout out to the latest ones there as well. Appreciate it big time. Woohoo! Now, if you want to join, of course, hit the join button here on the main bit. And of course, there's an introduction video. There'll be different prices depending on what you want. But we've got Pulsechins, Hexkins, and the Richard Hart Club there. And of course, get access to some perks in that as well. So very, very cool. And don't forget, here we are at 4,000. We're climbing up the subs. We're almost at 5,000. Let me just check out the data, man. It's going to be insane in the membrane. But we're at 4,996 subscribers. 4 more to hit 5,000. Are we going to reach it during this live stream? Who knows? But 4 more till 5,000. That's pretty cool. And of course, we're going to be up with the big boys. Well, we'll be in the middle of the pack there somewhere. And of course, it's great to get up to 5,000. Very, very cool. Yesterday, of course, we got some extra perks there from YouTube. So that was really nice. And of course, you're going to see that coming up pretty shortly. Very, very cool. So don't forget to subscribe. Let's get those 4 more subscribers out there. Share the channel around. I know we can do it. And of course, smash the like button as well. And of course, hit the bell for future videos and share the channel. A way to go. Woohoo! Now, the other thing I wanted to point out was Gen Hex here. We're going to refresh this just to make sure I've got the latest and greatest here. Gen Hex, of course, a syndicated channel here with Hex Token Discord. Is at 956 subscribers. You can see that there. Let me zoom on that a little bit there. 956. Go give that a little subscribe there. We got 44 more until Gen Hex gets to 1,000 subscribers. You can also throw Brazology a few there as well. And Heinz Crypto also syndicated here on Hex Token Discord as well. So definitely throw a subscribe. But at the moment, of course, Gen Hex 44 away from 1,000 would be pretty cool. Let's smash that out in the house. I'm going to go and put that in the channel. That is Gen Hex. Great content with great panel shows. Lots of up and coming YouTubers as well as pretty experienced ones. So very cool. Let's smash that in there with Heinz Crypto. That is his channel. I've just posted that right now. So there it is. Bam, bam, bam. Of course, it's great to see these YouTube channels just climbing. And of course, the bigger they are, the more the people they can reach and talk about Pulsechain and Pulsex and Hex, of course. Woo! All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. As a quick update there. Bam, we're going to jump out of the hex.com. Of course, that's where we live. We're in the pocket, as it were. Unimax is 5,000 today. Hope so. That's looking positive. We're at 4,996. I know we'll get there pretty soon. It's so close, single digits. Yeah. So single digits is kind of cool. It's pretty neat to get single digits at this stage. Very nice. Let me just double check the stream's going good. Nice. And of course, Katie says hit that subscribe button. Absolutely. If you're watching after this live stream, smash out that subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see how we get on towards the end of the live stream. Maybe tweet it out and all that good stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here we are at Hex.com. Now, you may have come across Hex.com. Of course, Richard Hart, the founder, and of course, amazing, amazing product. The first certificate of deposit on the blockchain and some incredible returns as well. You can see 38% returns a year for an average stake length, 6.6 years. It's pretty incredible. The longer you stake, you can even get higher than that, which is pretty nice. You get it paid out in Hex, of course, each and every day. It's obviously during the bull market for at least about 18 months. It was the best performing chart in crypto. And of course, 1,000,000% approximately it hit in terms of returns, which is amazing stuff if you think about it. Very cool. All right, so check it out, Hex.com, of course, and the link's in the video description if you want to get to that. But we're actually going to get into the fact that you can buy Hex on the market. So you can buy on Uniswap here. So you can just use this front end ticket on the website. You can to get some Ethereum, maybe get a MetaMask wallet, and of course, get some Hex. There is a how to buy guide as well. You can check that, of course, and it just says get a MetaMask if you haven't got one already. Buy some Ethereum, of course, swap it for Hex, and of course, stake it. Now, you can also use USDC, which is a stable coin, and crypto also to buy Hex, and that's the way to go. Now, the main front end in terms of staking is once you buy Hex and you got it in your MetaMask wallet, is that you can go to go.hex, and of course, you can stake your Hex in there. You put your Hex amount in there and the amount of days, and then you stake it. And the longer pays better, longer pays better. And of course, you can see those stake bonuses here. The longer pays better over here. Now, if you have a very large amount of Hex, of course, you can get the bigger pays better as well, up to 150 million. Pretty nice 10% bonus there. And of course, that will give you a high effective amount. And of course, you'll be able to get what we call more T-shares. That's kind of your ownership amount. If you got T-shares, that's the ownership. Every day there's a reward pool. And of course, you get paid out Hex. And of course, there's an ownership pool that gets those rewards. And that's the T-share holders. And that's pretty exciting. 10.4 million T-shares are in the ownership pool. And of course, we get tons and tons of Hex in the reward pool. So pretty easy. Just put the amount in and stake it and stake. That's the traditional way of course, getting stakes. Now, there are other front ends like Staker app, for example. Links in the video description if you want to get that. So pretty easy to operate. And of course, Hex is just amazing. Over 300,000 wallets in Hex and heading up towards 100,000 stakers. We've got about 98,300 or something like that staking Hex. Isn't that incredible? And of course, the community is just growing and growing by the day and going to be absolutely massive. We've got Pulsechain coming down the line there, the first system state fork of Ethereum. It's going to be massive. And of course, we're going to be another round of growth. We've got so many growth factors coming into Hex.com. If you haven't checked out some of those, watch the videos I've done in the last couple of days. We've gone through some of the massive fundamentals coming for Hex. And of course, we're starting to see a little bit, I think, in the chart. The Hex chart. And so stay tuned for the second half of the show. We're going to get into Hex and all the chart prices. But first of all, we're going to look at how to stake your Hedron, how to stake your Hex using Hedron. HSI stakes. It's a different way of staking than, for example, using the traditional way of stake here. So we're going to look at that. And so we're going to jump to Hedron here. Bam. And of course, we're going to go to the homepage site here. Now, obviously, this is Hedron.pro. And of course, the link's in the video description for Hedron.pro, so you can capture it there. And very cool. Let's get into other stuff. We've got Unimax in the house. No sound. Are you kidding me? No sound. Are you joking? He says Unimax. That's pretty funny. Let me just double check the sound. Let me make sure that's okay. That's funny. Not helpful, but funny. Pulsechain in the house there. What is the best new protocol on Maximus ecosystems, base Trio or Lucky or Dicky? Hey, Pulsechain, you know we're talking about Hedron today. We've covered that many other times. We'll come back to that though. We'll circle back, as we say in the White House, and come back to that. So here we are on Hedron. And of course, we've got the Hedron Staker dApp here. So we're just going to jump over to the Hedron dApp. And this is an alternative way. Instead of using the go.hex.com site or Staker app or something like that, you can actually put your Hex inside a HSI instance. So this is called a HSI, a Hex stake instance here. And it's pretty easy to do. So you can do this on Ethereum, of course, at the moment. You just have to hook up your MetaMask wallet and you'll be able to do that. So in this instance, I'm going to be using Pulsechain as a tester just to show you how it works on our Play wallet that we use for this live stream. So we're going to be using on a different chain, Pulsechain, but you'll be able to do this in the future, of course, using Pulsechain. But this is a good demo of how it works. So pretty much you got to create an instance there. All you have to do is put the amount and the days that you get in there and of course that you want to stake for. So obviously longer pays better. And so you can see how similar it is, exactly the same as go.hex, the amount and the days. That's pretty much it. And of course, longer pays better there as well. So pretty easy to follow. So you put the amount of hex in. So we're going to put in a little bit of hex there. But before we do that, let's check our wallet, see how much hex we've got. So we've got 12,000 hex in here on the Pulsechain network. Of course, you'll have that on the Ethereum network, and you can actually put that in. So let's take our 12,000. We're going to put in, say, 10,000 hex. 1, 2, 3. And of course, that's our amount there. We're also going to put in the amount of days. We can put it in for a long period of time. So we can go, what we're going to put in for 5, 5, 5, 5. Let's put it in for 15.2 years. How about that? Of course, once we're locked in with this. So we're going to quick stake hex. And that's all we have to do. This is how easy it is to create an HSI stake instance. It's going to be so easy. And of course, all I have to do is approve it in my MetaMask wallet. It's going to cost me a little bit of gas in terms of PLS on the Pulsechain. And if you're doing it on Ethereum, of course, it's going to cost you a little bit of Ethereum to do it. Obviously, pick a good low gas feed time. Typically on Sundays between 1 and 3 a.m. UTC time are typically the cheapest gas prices, although we have had a lot of lower gas prices at the moment during this bear market. So that's kind of been quite good. So here we are. We've got 10,000 hex. So taking it for 5,500 for 5 days. That's a max stake of hex. Of course, we love doing those. And we're going to see where that ends up. So this is processing at the moment. And of course, we'll see when that finishes, how we get on. Let's wait. It's just waiting to go through. We actually go to our MetaMask and we can actually see the activity. And of course, we can see we had a contract interaction there with the Hedron contract. And of course, we can see that on the blockchain too. So it's pretty easy to do. We're going to jump back there. And of course, I think this might have already been set up. Let's have a look here. Bam, bam, bam. And we might close out of that. I think it's been done. Let's have a look here. 10,000. We've got some stakes there. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe that didn't go through. We will just, it's still processing. So I'm not sure what's happening there. We might have to reset that. This is just sometimes these things happen when you're doing a live stream. It's just the way it goes. And have we got that set up? I think we have. Yes, we have. It's done. Woohoo! So we got 10,000 there for 555 days. We end up getting 1.3 D shares there, or 1,338 B shares. So that's what we got there. That's the stake we just did. And of course, the borrowable Hedron, we can actually borrow against that HSI stake. And of course, it's 7.4 million is what we can borrow. So that's pretty cool. 7.4 million Hedron we can borrow against the HSI stake. Isn't that cool? Now, you can't borrow against native hex stakes, but you can borrow against these Hedron HSI stakes, which is a special feature of Hedron. And of course, when you go in there, you can get actions. And of course, we're going to pick up one of the actions here. You have to go to this higher one because it won't show all the details, I don't think. Oh, no, that one will work. So we'll show this one. And of course, you can mint, of course. You can borrow Hedron. You can tokenize. In other words, you can turn this what we call an encapsulated stake. So when you make an HSI stake, imagine a jar and you're putting the hex inside that jar. That jar is a smart contract, and that encapsulates the hex stake. That's pretty much how it works. You've got a smart contract, which is like a jar. You put the hex inside it, and of course, that's a smart contract, and that's an encapsulated stake. But you can go a step further, and you can tokenize that and turn that smart contract into an NFT contract. And of course, then you can transfer that and trade that away. But of course, if you tokenize it, it's going to give you limitations. So if we click tokenize, it's going to tell us that we can tokenize a stake or remove the stake from your control and issue you an NFT token, which is linked to the stake. So that's what's going to do. This NFT can be sent to other wallets or traded on a compatible NFT marketplace like OpenSea, for example. Afterwards, the new owner may choose to detokenize the stake. So you can actually reverse the process. You can turn it into an NFT, then turn it back into a wrapped stake there. So you can do that. Afterwards, the new owner may choose to detokenize the stake in order to be granted control over it. You may also detokenize the stake yourself if you wish to regain control. Tokenized hex stakes cannot mint, borrow, or otherwise interact with Hedron and its features until it has been detokenized. Good accounting habit can still be called against it. So that's pretty cool. So we can click that button to do that. So that's pretty important. We're just going to play a little video here. I've just been called into something, so I'm going to have to interrupt this live stream for just a moment. We're going to play a video in the meantime until I can deal with this particular situation as this come up. Unfortunate when it happens in live stream, but we're just going to play a little intermission here as we move on through the HSI stakes with Hedron. Let us play out one of these videos. So bear with me, folks. we're going to jump into this one, I think. So enjoy this while I have to deal with something, and I'll be back live in a second.
So as everyone knows, it's been a real rough period for crypto investors, and many are actually saying, though, that this turmoil is having something of a cathartic effect, right? In the sense that, listen, it gets rid of the poorly run coins and companies and even some bad actors. Meanwhile, the community itself has really turned into a whole bunch of individual tribes, a lot of believers, of course, committed to their favorite coins. In fact, yesterday I read where a well reportedly bought 20 million Shiba Inu for 210 million. That would have been the largest purchase in history there. I do want to bring in now Hex.com founder Richard Hart. You know, Richard, you are the man behind Hex, and it's been some tough sledding for you like everyone else of late. Just tell us exactly, you know, what it is, why you created it.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin's got a lot of stuff it can't do. So, you know, right now you're seeing everyone lose all their money, and I do mean all of their money, to people that said they would give them more coins. They tried to earn yield on their Bitcoin. They gave their keys to somebody else, which is the opposite of why crypto was invented. It was invented to get rid of middlemen. So what does everyone do? They give their keys to middlemen that have a good story. They're going to give you some interest. I invented something that I gave for free to Bitcoin holders that let them generate yield by holding their own keys without giving them to somebody else.
So I did some research, and I want to just ask you about a couple of things, because you've got some detractors out there. It might be a easy way of saying it. And I saw one article and one FI titled "Richard Hart's Hex Token is a Brilliant Scam." It says that the biggest problem with Hex is that the answers you just referred to being paid, but the token doesn't generate revenue. So the only place money can come from is other investors. That would be a Ponzi scheme, no matter how much you spend it. And then, of course, it goes on to say you lay it on thick. What do you say to an article like that? What do you say to an article like that?
Everyone misuses these words. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent endeavor where people are told they're going to get pay more from a business activity that doesn't really exist. It's fraudulent. And there's a middleman that pays you your rewards. The family likeness test would say that Hex is most similar to Bitcoin, where miners create money out of thin air and pay themselves their own rewards through the fruits of their own labor. And therefore, since there's no middlemen, since you mint your own coins, it cannot be a Ponzi. It can be a bubble, which is why the price drops 85% every 3 or 4 years. But then it goes on to make new all-time highs. So Bitcoin's dropped 85% 3 or 4 times now, and yet it's gone up 690 million% from a penny to $69,000. And so all Hex is Bitcoin with proof of work change, where we pay people inflation to hold the price up through staking instead of paying them to destroy the environment through SHA-256 mining. So that's all it is. It's Bitcoin with a proof of work change.
I've been bringing a lot of folks on in your space because I'm trying to learn all of this. And again, when people found out you were coming on, I got a whole bunch of articles. There's another one I want to ask you about because, listen, obviously you've got a pretty strong following, but there was one in AZ Coin. This is 2019. And it says worrisome Hex founder Richard Hart was revealed to be a notorious scammer known as the Spam King. Again, listen.
I got sued for $500 in civil court 20 years ago, and I couldn't pay for a lawyer to defend myself because in small claims court, you can't have a lawyer defend you.
Okay.
It would have cost me more than $500 to fly to Washington to go win the case. So I don't think being sued for $500 in small claims court makes you a Spam King.
Richard, where do we go from here? With respect to the overall crypto space, Bitcoin, and Hex itself?
I called the top on the day. Everyone else told you Bitcoin was going to 100,000. I told you it was going down to 10,000. Why? Because it drops 85% every once in a while. But people, they forget that happens. They always think that this time's different. Nope, this time's not different. Are people paying $1 million for JPEGs, or more accurately, serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, which may or may not still be hosted on the internet? Yes, they are. As long as people are doing that, you have to have a crash. The reality will not let idiots that buy JPEGs for $1 million survive.
For Hex, right? I understand you control like 88%.
Oh, Hex.
People want to know, as they're getting in, are you not getting out?
The best time, the origin address has never sold a single Hex. Vitalik dumps Ethereum on your head all the time. The Ethereum Foundation dumps Ethereum on your head all the time. Chainlink founder dumps Chainlink on your head all the time. The origin address in Hex has never sold a single coin, ever. If you want to know who's dumping, just go look. It's all on chain. All of Hex's trading's on chain. Unlike that crap that you see, the fake volume and fake exchange trading you see for all the other coins. All of our stuff's on chain. You can see who sold, when they bought, what other coins they like, when they're locked up for. It's a miracle. It's the most transparent trading in the entire industry.
All right. Hey, that's all the time we have. I appreciate you coming on, and I do say,
you know, I called the top on the day, right?
I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm waiting for you to call. I thought you were going to come on the show and call the bottom. No, that's what I'm looking for.
I'll call the bottom when it's 11K.
All right,
and
cool.
then maybe we go a little deeper.
Sounds good. Richard, thank you very much. All right, folks.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, sometimes that happens, unexpected things. So cool. I've addressed it, so it's done now. Let's move forward. We've got a few people in the chat here. How I made it says, hope the merge don't happen on September the 19th. I have two rigs mining ETH. Lol, says How I made it. That's funny. Hey, circle back. Yeah, please don't do that again. Says it's now. Yeah, circle back. That's for sure. Tony Starr in the house there. In the house. Yeah. Tony Starr says, good afternoon all. Hey, good to see you, Tony. David says, I love the jar analogy. Well said, David. I appreciate that. Big shout out. And every time I see David in there, I'm always like fanboy. I don't know what it is. Is there something cool about David that really zings out there? So big shout out, David. So now almost half watching. Have not liked yet. Come on, peeps. Like it up. Absolutely. And we've got Mr. Faraz from India, Calcutta, India. Good to see you. Good morning to you. We got thumbs up there. Coppers are at your door, says the coppers at the door. Actually, it was something else there. Pulse about it was something else. Hex Machine, there's been an update on PLS GitHub. Has there? Let us jump to that actually quickly. I'm not sure what that is, but let's have a look here. We got what have we got in here? 12 minutes ago on Go Pulse. Yeah, a little update there. And what else did we get there? We got Hex Machine. Check Jesse's tweet. We got Jesse's tweet. Jesse's tweet? No way. Is Jesse in the house? Let's check that because we're going to jump over to Jesse's. We're just interrupting the broadcast around Hedron and Hex staking, but we'll get back to it. Don't worry. I'll put some timestamps in afterwards. I've got Jesse's up here somewhere. I thought I had Jesse up here somewhere. There's Jesse at the top. That would make sense. Let's probably looked at him just recently. What else we got here? 1 hour ago, we got the implementation there. That's nice to see. I'm not exactly sure what's in there, though. Just a redemption. Let's have a look here. See what anyone else got comments in there. Not sure whether David Fedder's got any comment on that. Are we closer? I don't know. They do updates in there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look on it. And of course, I didn't actually go any further. It's not that easy to see what's in there. There's so many files, but we'll have a look. Have a look through there as we do. All right, let's jump through. Can't see anything there that's obvious to me. Maybe David Fedder may know something in the chat there. Normally, they can be all sorts of updates in the files. There's a lot to look at, so I'll just jump away from that. David, let us know if there's anything particular that you got a heads up on. Yeah, not too bad. An hour ago. All right, cool. Let us get back on track. Woohoo! Jonathan says the news asked the same dumb questions as everyone else. Yeah, true that. And Ace says, Toxic Hedgehog says, did Dave Fedder claim any weight yet? Yeah, that's probably an interesting question there. Ace says, how's it going? And good to see you, Ace, a Hex Token channel member. Good catch. Thank you, says David. Yeah. What else we got going? Jonathan says, I guess Pulse and PulseX are going to be scams too, says Jonathan. Yeah, probably. What else do you got? Nah, still waiting. I want to max it out. True that. I think we're all waiting. # waiting. Waiting till RH says 2 weeks left, says David. Nice. Jonathan says that Richard meets with the community all the time and it's someone he cares about. Yep. All right. So where are we up to? We're going to catch up on this one. We've got a few comments in there. I might as well get through those. We are in the upside downward. Yeah. The truth will come on launch, says Tony Stutt. Yeah, I agree. And John says, I'm a fan with David Feather too. Yeah. He's got a big following. Woo! Nothing major tonight, just some comments on the bugs. Some bugs. Yeah. That's normally what it is. So, I don't know why Jesse posted that because it's just I check those updates regularly, and most of the time it's just like little things in there. So yeah, Hex Machine. Normally, if they're going to reset the whole chain, they'll reset all the files will reload up, and normally there's stuff like that. 44 watching needed 44 on the Gen Hex. Yeah, smash that subscriber. Coincidence? Come and subscribe to Gen Hex. Absolutely. Let's see how we're getting on. And man, I didn't mean to get so distracted today, but that's just the way it is. I'm actually loving this topic. This topic is a big favorite of mine. Of course, you can stake Hex traditionally with Hex, go.hex.com. You can also stake it with an HSI stake using Hedron. And of course, you can borrow against that HSI stake with for your Hedron if you want. So we've got our stake that we made, 1.3 T shares or 1,338 B shares down here. We can actually borrow 7.4 million Hedron against it if we so choose to. And of course, we can actually have a couple of options: mint, borrow, tokenize, end stake, and stake info, etc. Good accounting. So we can do that. But we've got an HSI stake. We don't need to go any further than that. Those are the options. So what we can do with that, we've got it as an HSI stake, and that's what matters. And of course, that's a smart contract, basically a wrap container. The hex has gone in it. And of course, that's a smart contract. That wrap container represents smart contract, and away you go. And of course, you can turn it into an NFT contract if you so choose to, and potentially put it on OpenSea. So here is OpenSea. These are Hex stake instances. So what are your three options? We've got, you can hold your HSI stake. In other words, you're just a normal stake. You just put it in HSI. Number two, you can trade your stake on OpenSea or any platform that that actually supports it. And away you go. So we know that we've got 755 NFT stakes on here at the moment, 214 owners. We've had a massive 532 Ethereum in volume, which I think is pretty good, to be honest. And of course, you can see the HSI stakes here sitting here as well. So all you have to do is hook your wallet up to OpenSea, of course, and you'll be able to see all these. And no doubt we'll have tons of these on all our NFT, native Pulsechain ones when Pulsechain launches, like Mincher and Power City's NFT shop and all the rest of them that are going to be there. So it's pretty cool. So you can do two. So you can either hold your HSI stake just like a normal stake, or number two, you can trade it, put it on, and try your luck with the market price. And of course, number three, which is coming up, and this is the big thing. This is the big thing, of course, is Icosa. Icosa is coming up here. And of course, this is the Icosa model here. Now, obviously, Alex is the dev for this one. And of course, super smart guy and works really hard, really innovative in the space. And of course, actually a leader in the space here, what we call sort of a second layer derivative product of Hex. It is helping also to eat up the Hex supply, which, you know, how excited I get about that, just about every single live stream. And of course, it's looking good. So we've got three options here. We can stake our Hedron in this product coming up. And of course, he's finished the coding. It's going to private test network. And then of course, it's going to go public test network on Pulsechain. And of course, get all audits. And then he's going to give us a launch phase, and we'll have a mint phase in that too. So that's really what's coming up. There are three basic features, of course. There's the Hedron staking, which basically if you got Hedron from an existing Hex stake, you could do that, or you can buy Hedron on the market through Uniswap or limit orders or whatever. You're going to get access to that. Number two option, of course, is HSI buybacks, and that's the main topic of this live stream, is staking your Hex in HSIs, which we just did. And of course, we'd use Pulsechain, but you do it on Ethereum just to change the network. And of course, the third feature on here is We Are All SA, or the source account. And of course, that's going to be, I think, surprisingly popular on that one. So that's going to be different. That's where you bid Hedron and you mint yourself an NFT. They're going to be limited, of course. And of course, over time, as people unstake those, they will be out of the pool. And of course, those who are left, the last man standing, will be left with earning Icosa forever. So it's going to be a fun game. That's a fun gamification of this. I think it's going to have be surprisingly popular as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. Now, in the first 30 days of when Icosa launches, possibly in August, that kind of feels like it's lining up for August, then you will be able to sell your HSI stake, the one we just made. We just made that, of course, on here. I've actually got three on here. You can see they're all in there at the moment. Of course, they're all pending because they haven't served any days. These first two that I made just earlier are all 2 days long. This one that I just made for 1.3 T-shares is 15.2 years, or 5,555 days. And of course, you can see how much Hedron I can borrow against that. So that's cool. But if you want to, you don't want to hold it, you don't want to sell it or trade it on OpenSea, and in the future, very soon, you're going to be able to sell it to Icosa. And of course, that's going to be pretty awesome. And in this regards, you're going to be able to sell it to them. They'll be buying it for you in the Icosa contract. So the Icosa contract is going to do the following. And of course, you can sell HSIs to the Icosa smart contract, and then you can stake the Icosa. So you give them the HSI with the Hex inside it, and of course, they're going to give you back Icosa, and then you're going to participate in the Icosa platform there. And that's pretty exciting. And then, of course, at the end of the end stake of your Icosa, you'll be able to get Icosa and Hedron. So by giving them the HSI stake, you're going to get stake your Icosa that you get, and you're going to get a yield paid out in Icosa and Hedron. And then you'll be able to reclaim the Icosa principal at the end, top it up, and then recycle it around, whatever you want to do. So that's pretty powerful. So that is the main stuff happening at the moment. And of course, that is how easy it is to make an HSI stake if you want to participate in the Icosa project coming up, and I suggest it's going to be pretty popular. Now, Alex told us already that we had some pretty amazing results from that so far with existing HSIs, that we had something like 7,500 HSI stakes, and 700 of those had been turned into NFTs, but that's the next level of use case for HSI stakes for Hedron. And the average stake length was 13 years for those, with 350 million staked in HSI stakes. That's a beautiful result. And of course, we can compare that perhaps with the Maximus Maxi token, which did 294.3 million. And of course, that gets Hex off the market too, 15.2 years. And man, I feel absolutely super excited when I see the circulating supply going down. And of course, you guys have seen my waterfall chart indicating some of the power of what's happening with these second layer derivative products. And Icosa and Maximus are both just around the corner from the looks of it, both at similar stages. So we're going to be having a lot of fun in August is my expectation, obviously subject to the team's official announcements, because obviously we're just basing this on the current information we have. So looking really cool. So if you want to do that, that's how easy it is to participate in this HSI buyback scene. And the benefit of this, not only do you get Icosa, and you're going to stake that to get Icosa and Hedron, is that in the first 30 days, the only way to get Icosa is to sell HSI stakes. You can't, Hedron staking is a minimum of 30 days before you will get paid out some Icosa. So for Hedron here, you have to stake, and of course the minimum days is 30 days. And of course you stake your Hedron, and then you're going to get yield paid in Icosa there. And then you'll be able to reclaim your Hedron at the end and top it up, etc. So it's very important to remember. So when you do Hedron staking, you can borrow your Hedron off the HSI. You can buy Hedron, and of course you'll be able to mint Hedron too. But just remember, those are the different features there. But in this case, we're talking about the second one here with the HSIs. Now, the other interesting information you need to know is not only is the first 30 days the only way to get Icosa is by selling HSI stakes to the Hedron, to the Icosa contract. But if you do a stake for if you're selling the Icosa contract a stake that has a 5,505 days stake in it, you'll get a 10% bonus for selling that. So it's a pretty nice thing for max staking X. You get a 10% bonus there for the Quattro Cinco, and you can see it at the bottom 11, bottom here as well. The other thing, of course, if your stake has a Hedron launch bonus, you'll get a 1 to 10% for HSIs with Hedron launch bonuses in them, which is pretty cool. So you take that into account. So the real upside there for the longer pays better with the max stake, which means basically you create a stake, and of course, if you had some Hex, you'd put that in, and you just have to put a 5 day. That will be the 10% bonus for that. You get a 10% bonus for selling that stake to the market. So that's what we did down here. We could potentially, if this was on the Ethereum network, sell this HSI stake to the Icosa contract and get that 10% bonus in Icosa, which is pretty awesome as well. So fun. And of course, it's going to be interesting to see that play out. Now, if you're going to do Hedron staking, of course, which we're not primarily focused on today, you'll also get bonuses based on how long you stake and, of course, what level of Hedron supply you have. If you're a whale, in other words, you've got greater than or equal to 1% of the Hedron supply. Remember, there's 83 trillion Hedron. 83 trillion, it's a big number. And, of course, the staking with Icosa is a game changer for Hedron and also a game changer for Hex because of the HSI buyback feature. And that's going to be pretty epic. So minimum stake length, 360 days. You get a 20% bonus if you're a whale. If you're a shark in Hedron, you've got 0.1% of the Hedron supply. You'll get a 15% bonus if you do a minimum of 240 days stake. So you can see how it's locking things up longer. And, of course, you get a bonus for doing that. Deferred gratification, one of Richard Hart's principles, really. And that's pretty cool. The other thing, is, of course, is that dolphin. If you're a dolphin and you've got 0.01% of Hedron supply, your minimum stake 180 days, so 6 months, you get a 10% bonus on the Icosa yield only. And, of course, with the squid, if you're greater than or equal to 0.001% of Hedron supply, you get a minimum, and you stake for a minimum of 90 days, you get a 5% bonus. And that's pretty awesome. Now, the minimum stake length is 30 days, and you can see that over here. And that's what makes the HSI buybacks very attractive for people at the front of the project launch, because it's the only way to get Icosa that quickly. Otherwise, you have to wait for 30 days until you get paid Icosa yield through Hedron staking. So fun times the next 30 days is why you see why I'm so excited about the potentiality for HSI stakes and showing you how simple it can be. Now, you can have many HSI stakes. Of course, you can create many of them. using your wallet. So, go for gold on that. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see that. All right, so that is pretty much the Icosa there. Of course, the link to Icosa Pro is in the video description below. I will give you a link to this the summary that has been done by Alex. Just let me find my studio. I've got to close out of this. Bam. And, of course, what is the potential for this coming up? Could be absolutely massive for the Hex circulating supply as well. So I'm excited about that. Icosa, the right diagram. Let me put it diagram, I guess. Diagram, summary. Bam. Save that to your favorites, by the way, so you don't lose it. That's for sure. Get Hex says, hit the like. Absolutely. Pearl, pretty excited about that too. It says only 4 subs left for Superman to hit 5,000. Hit it now. How we doing? We're at 4,996. We're still 4 away. We're counting down pretty close there. It's now 958 awesome people. 4 more for Gen Hex. Doing well. Congratulations. Want to get Gen Hex over Craig Wadding there over to 1,000 subscribers. DB's in the house there. Woohoo! Hexo says, what? None of you have a second accounts to subscribe from to get Superman over 5,000. Let's get it done. I'm excited about that too. There is the diagram, of course, the one that we're looking at the moment. Save that to your favorites. If you're looking to participate in Icosa, you've got a lot of Hedron. The way to go on that. And, of course, Lies Beneath is in the house with the ultimate strategy. This is a Richard Hart Maxi strategy, channel. So this is the ultimate strategy. Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Absolutely. But there are a couple of other good projects around as derivatives, Maximus, and Icosa, for example. And there are a couple of premium utility projects on Pulsechain that we cover all the time. And if I'm not covering a project, it's because I consider it down the pack. And, of course, from time to time, I'll do some special interviews with projects that are coming out, especially if they've got big influences. So we'll be covering that too. All right. So nice on that one. Let's get over to the markets. And, of course, all the links for Hedron and Icosa in the video description. You can have a look at those. If you're going to participate, really do some reading in addition to watching YouTubers. Because it's always good to, find the little things as well. So nice. Now, one thing I didn't say actually about Icosa is what the Icosa contract will do if you sell these HSI stakes. So you sell these HSI stakes to them, they're going to take them over to Hedron, and of course, they're going to borrow against them. So they're going to take now that they own your HSI stake you sold to them for Icosa, they're going to go and borrow. So they're going to borrow them now. And, of course, they're going to pay those back to people that are staking, right? So that Hedron's going to go back to people that are staking. And then, of course, those are going to go into liquidation. So these HSIs that you sell them will go into liquidation. And they're going to end up here. And after 90 days, they're going to go into default. And then they're going to become part of the accurate liquidations. People are going to bid on those with Hedron. The winning bid wins. And, of course, the Hedron gets burned. So I thought you want to know the back end of that. That's what the Icosa contract's going to do with your HSI stakes that you sell to it. So pretty fascinating. And, of course, someone's going to win that stake and own the HSI stake. So it's a bit of a circular money go around there. But it's maybe a spiraling upwards, as we might say, for the whole ecosystem. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. Some nice innovations there from Alex, as always. All right, let's get to the market. So part 2 of our live stream. Woohoo! I'm so excited, man. So much is happening in this space, man. It's just mind-blowing. And I'm just absolutely, you've seen me the last couple of days. I've just been beaming because I am super excited about where Hex is going. And, of course, we haven't even got Pulsechain coming, but Hex is just absolutely, from my view, so much has been built out of the Hex token. Hex token is now an ecosystem. It's just so exciting to see it play out. So very, very cool. When Pulsechain comes, it's absolutely mind-blowing. So very cool. All right, where are we going to jump over to here? We've got the markets at 22,000 for Bitcoin, Ethereum at 1,500. I'm pretty sure this is up to date. I'm going to pull up Nomics, actually, because I was just wondering whether that page got stuck at all. Oh, yeah, it's got stuck. So that page is not working at the moment. I thought something was not right there. So we've got Bitcoin at 23,543. I apologize. The other one is stuck. And, of course, this is super bullish. Over 23,000 Bitcoin, bullish sign there. And, of course, down 33%. Now, I was watching liquidations for shorts and longs yesterday. And, of course, man, oh man, people are losing millions of dollars every hour and every 4 hours and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy stuff. We might pull that up in another live stream amount of money that people are losing on shorts and longs doing margin trading. Obviously, Richard Hart, one of the principles of his is forget all that trading. Don't get wrecked. Don't get wrecked. In fact, you know what they call those indicators? Wrecked. That's what they call them. Wrecked. So Richard Hart's all about not getting wrecked, picking up some Hex, deferred gratification, lock that away. Don't worry about the price in the market, and of course, get those beautiful Hex yields. And of course, that's now going to be supercharged with the likes of Hedron and Icosa and things like that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So definitely well worth talking about there. Ethereum at the moment, $1,572 at the moment. That's pretty much the market. Binance Coin 270. These percentages, by the way, year-on-year changes. So we might move that to a day change just to show you how green it is at the moment. Up 8%, up 4%. Binance up 5%. Cardano up 12%. So it's pretty green on the daily basis. You can see Hex at the moment on nomics.com is number 18. And of course, up almost 8% on the 24-hour basis. Now, the thing I wanted to say about this is that we talked about Rack and Rochelle, Overwatch, and EB Exchange yesterday. That's coming. If you haven't checked that video, do check it out. It's just going to show you how big some of the things that are coming for the Hex ecosystem and for Pulsechain. It is pretty exciting. So very, very cool. And of course, they're investing big money and of course, innovating at the frontier of blockchain as well and applying those applications into and utilities into Pulsechain and Hex ecosystem. So it's pretty exciting. All right, so that's pretty much where we are. And of course, the market cap is currently 1.1 trillion, and it's nice to be up 5.5% on the market cap. Very cool. So that's going good. Let's jump over to the Hex chart here. Woo-hoo-hoo! Now, this played out exactly as we were predicting, so that's nice. This one here didn't. That's very unusual. Of course, we did have a strong run-up in the previous one, but this actually crossed back down, as you can see there. And of course, the sentiment in the market at this time was kind of like a dead water, like no wind over the ocean. It was just a silent, flat as conditions. And of course, very typically, this would have had a couple more days, probably 3 or 4 more days going up, but that didn't play out. So occasionally, this will play out like that. But at the moment, of course, it's playing textbook at the moment. And of course, we had a narrowing Bollinger Bands. And of course, we've got our EMA 13, a bullish sign when it crosses the 50% Bollinger Band in red. And of course, we've got our breakup. So we could reasonably expect this, and especially after we pass 4 cents, to get a couple of days green candles in here. And that's looking really, really cool. So that's kind of the more likely outcome. It's never inevitable, of course, but it's the more likely outcome. We've got more buyers in play, and the sellers are going down, and the momentum is starting to move up in favor of the buyers. So that's pretty clear on that DMI. And of course, we've still got plenty of room to move for a nice couple of day rally in there for the Hex chart. They're currently at 55 on the RSI. So pretty cool for that. Looking nice. Let's jump to our quad charts. Have a quick look at that. Let me just pull this up. I'm going to close down a few of my other sites here for the first half of our live stream. I will put timestamps in, especially since I had to address some issue earlier. Just the way it goes sometimes. Cool. So here is our quad charts. We're at 4.33 cents on Hex. I picked up Hex today. Woohoo! Man, it's like a pump when you buy some Hex. It's just like exciting, man. It's like, I feel like, what's that? Remember Wedding Crashers and Vince Vaughn is in there, and he's like, oh, no, it's actually the other guy, and I forget his name just off the hand. He's saying like, yeah, we're going to another wedding crashing thing. It's a bit like that excitement on Wedding Crashers. When they're going to all those weddings, that's how it feels like. I feel like playing that music, and maybe not some of the other stuff they're doing, but definitely exciting to buy some Hex, man. It's like a juicy fruit or something. It's really, really cool. Anyway, so Hex is moving up, and it's because it crossed over 4 cents. That was my trigger. Pick up some more Hex. So I'm enjoying that, and very, very cool. So there we are at 4.33 at the moment. We had a little bit of taper off. It's funny when we go from 4 cents to 4.5. People can't resist themselves. They've got a few little tiny sellers in there, not really nothing major. And of course, away we go. Over the last 24 hours, of course, we had 6 or 7 big buyers and 1 seller in the play, large sellers. So that's pretty much what we had, which is a big difference to a lot of other days. The volume was relatively low. I haven't checked Staker app, but yesterday on the 24-hour basis, it was kind of sitting at, it had 150K or 60K, which is pretty low. But I think it's probably changed a lot. I haven't checked it, but with all those big buys coming in the last 24 hours, it must have changed it pretty significantly. So we're at 4.33 there, and looking good for a potential couple of day rise there. Obviously not inevitable, but looking very good for that. Now let's got Hedron here. Hedron is moving up to 783. And of course, we've just been talking about that with the HSI stakes. And of course, it's had been rejected at twice at 1,000. But of course, the project underlying with the Icosa contract coming is looking good. As I said earlier, pretty much that it is the code's been done. It's going to private test network on Pulsechain, and of course, then it needs public and audits, public testing and audits, and of course, then a launch date. That's kind of the phase at this stage. So that was given to us. What date was that? I think the 14th. I think that was the update from Alex. So looking pretty good there and boding well. People have been contacting me about Hedron. People are getting a bit more excited about Hedron. We've been a couple of YouTubers talking about Hedron, so certainly back in favor again. And of course, the Icosa is going to help with the Hedron staking. 83 trillion Hedron. You've got to get that off the market, and of course, staking, and of course, the other mechanisms there really help with that. Maxi, of course, is doing very well as well. 8.56 cents here. Let me just move that over. And of course, let's have a look at the premium at the moment. It's been doing pretty well on the old Maxi premium. And of course, we have the perpetuals coming up with the base. Now we're going to come back around to Pulse Beta's question. Hey, 503 subscribers. Woohoo! We did it. Woohoo! We did it. Yay! Superman bow down to all the subscribers. There we are. There's a triple bag. I'm going to do 4 and 5,000 bows. There we are. 5,000 bows. That's pretty awesome. Hey, we did it. We did it. We did it. So nice one. Well done. Appreciate all the support from everybody. It's now, and everyone else that was in there. Pulsechain says sounds bullish for the Hedron Icosa Maxi is absolutely Pulsechain coming soon. Hex Spicer, good morning, Superman, and good morning all. A big shout out to everybody from the UK. Welcome to the chat. Woohoo! We're having a good time, man. Don't be fooled by the LLL triangles. There's lies beneath through that. And woohoo! 5,000 subs. Yeah, I was a bit slow for that one because I was talking about the prices. But man, big shout out. Have to check that video. Yeah. Awesome people. Yeah, absolutely awesome. I appreciate it big time. Picking up Hex on a discount as a natural high. Yeah, we had a 94.5% pullback to 2.8 cents. And of course, Hex has moved up from there. So we're looking pretty good. 5,000, love it. And of course, woohoo, 5,000, absolutely. We're going to pull in some music, man. We're going to pull some music for that. Let's get it. Hey, we got Hex Biker with the £5.55. 5K subscriber celebration. Absolutely, man. Let's pick up some music for this, man. Let's pull up some music for this. Now, let me just remove some of these things. I'm going to put some little party on for that. That's definitely worth a bit of a dance party. Let's get it on. We're going to play, obviously, Power City. Actually, let's play, Power City. Let's do that one. And boom. All right, let's party up. 5,000. 5. All right, that was epic. So that was our dance party for 5,000. Man, it was a bit of a workout for the arms as well. But this is how we roll in this chat. Big shout out. Thanks to everybody. Hex Biker KD, of course. Big shout out, and to everybody else. Appreciate all the channel members that have joined supporting this channel. Big support. All the subscribers out there, of course, as well. Woohoo! We also, YouTube gave us a big reward yesterday. Normally we would only get that reward at 10,000 subscribers, and of course we got it at not even hitting 5,000. So YouTube activated a special feature It's coming soon on this channel. Cool. We're very lucky to get that. Thanks for the intro. Yeah, it says down under. I'm a little puffed now. My fitness is not what it was, but hey, that's good to see that. Katie in the house with the dancing, and get Hex as well. It says now you all got to get second accounts to get into 10,000. Yeah, that's the next one. Jonathan says a true human that cares about individuals freeing themselves. Absolutely, Jonathan. Big shout out. All right, let's get back into the charts here. We've got the Maxi Premium at 98%. Can you believe it? Looking really good with this uptrend. Look at that. Beautiful. And of course, broke out of this channel here quite early on, actually, and away it's gone here. And of course, we're waiting for the perpetuals to come out. This is the base, the trio, the Decky, and the Lucky and the Decky token. Those 4 new stakings in addition to this one, which is the 5th one, the Maxi, which is already out, 15.2 years stake. We're also going to have the Team DAO stake, and that's going to be exclusive as well. Probably a little bit like we are SA for the Icosa, a little bit in that unique status. And of course, you're going to need Maxi for that. So that's going to eat up some of this Maxi supply, 294.3 million Maxi. And of course, some of that is going to go into the team token. And of course, the team token is going to benefit from 50% of the bigger pays better bonus for the new perpetuals. In other words, the base token is going to roll over every year. The trio token is going to roll over every 3 years, etc. We've already seen in the poll that people definitely generally mostly prefer the base token and the Decky token, so the short term and the long term. We know that the base token will probably be highly used in liquidity pools as well, and so forth. So it's going to be interesting. The other thing, of course, is because they all got different periods, you could actually treat them kind of like a staking ladder as well. And of course, you get slightly higher yields as they go longer into time. And of course, maybe the premium that we've got on Maxi at the moment could be proportionally discounted on the shorter timeframes as you come nearer to the base token. So it's going to be fascinating to see that. Very, very, very cool. Pulsechain says I have 3 accounts and all subscribed. Nice one, Pulsechain. Appreciate it. Big shout out. Hey, let's go back to Pulsechain's question way at the top here, because that was I think you had a question about this. So Pulsechain, what is the best new protocol on a Maximus ecosystem based trio, Lucky or Decky? Now, obviously, you have to choose that for yourself, right? You have to choose yourself. Now, they're all tradable. So arguably, the longer it would be better for the yield, right? So the longer would be better for the yield. I guess, like I say, the liquidity pool would probably be bigger for the short term. So you need to trade that off versus the yield. But they're ultimately tradable. Maxi's been trading very well. So it's going to be interesting to see that now. Now, Maxi has done very well. Obviously, having a whole pool of these now, these pooled stakes is going to be, what do you call a family of pooled stakes? A family of pooled stakes? I don't know. But pooled stakes is going to be interesting. So, yeah. Now, they're going to get 50% of the bigger pays better bonus goes to the team token. That's also going to get 30% of their Maxi token is going to be given back over a 3, 6, 9 year period for the team token. And don't forget, there's I think it's 30% is going to be burned. There's also the mystery box as well. So there's quite a few little dynamics to get into. So woohoo! But of course, potentially those 4 base trio, Lucky and Decky, could end up eating 150 million bigger pays better bonus, and that's important that they get do pretty well on each of those. And of course, that's self-fulfilling, right? Becomes self-fulfilling. Because they get the higher, bigger pays better bonus, which is part of the yield. Longer pays better is most of the yield. But of course, as the further you go out, the bigger that is. It's going to be because you get paid the big hex per T shares, especially in the future. We're going to have 10 hex per T share, 20 hex per T share, and the longer you're out, obviously the bigger it's going to be. The ultimate is Maximus, because we know in the last 5 years the mathematics just goes way up in terms of the hex payout. There's a lot less T shares around the liquidity pool. And we've got reward pool with the inflation and the penalties. And then we've got T-shares. We know further out that T-shares is, even with growing massively, which we expect to do, T-shares are really going to decrease over time. Those people that are staking out in that far end are going to be doing pretty well. We see the Hex God well and others stake out there too. So it's going to be, and of course the Maximus contract. So there's a few things taken into account. All right, cool. What else there? Pulsechain says, who else we got here? Javier says, PLSD pump it. Yeah, PLSD pump it. Paul says, I think Maximus price could drop due to too much competition. Self-inflicted injury. That's true too. It could do that too. I'm a bit dopey, really. Greed is kicked in by the team. Not greed. I think I think it's probably quite useful in terms of the way they've set it up with the staking ladder. I think there's probably a better approach. But you're right, the premium could get tapped a little bit there. Certainly high, right? I expected like a 40% premium. It's up at 100%. So that definitely could happen, Pulse Beta. I missed the boat on Maxi, says Get Hex. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. They're now bigger and bigger and bigger. I think they got the second biggest following after Maxi. Sorry, after Liquid Loans. I think they're right up there with Mintra with their social media following. They're about to hit 10,000, I think, on the Mintra there. Let me just double check that. I follow that pretty closely as well in terms of the following there. So they're at 8,971. And so they're actually one of the bigger ones. If you compare that to, let's say you compare that to the Liquid Loans, which is amazing on social media, 11,200. So just behind that. And if you compare that to, where's the other one I wanted to look at? Mintra. Do I have not Mintra here? Mintra. Let's find Mintra. Mintra. Yeah, Mintra, which are obviously a big social media, 4,400. So you can see that Maximus is really big on the social media following. That's really interesting, isn't it? So, and I imagine when Maximus launches, they're going to be the biggest out of these projects with the social media following, which is pretty important. So cool. That is it at this stage. But you're right. There could be a pullback in the premium. It's not inevitable that the premium stays up this high. There's a good chance that the premium will rally further because obviously they're basically finished the code. They're doing testing pretty similar to the Icosa one. And of course, they'll have to do audits and then, of course, then announce a launch date. We're expecting a 14-day mint phase. So you put your hex into the pooled stake. And you either choose base, trio, lucky, or decky. And of course, you can put it in there. And of course, people can put their maxi into the team token if they're going to do that. And of course, part of the maxi that goes in there, 30% is going to be burned. So it's going to be interesting to see that. So cool. That is where we're at the stage. Stay tuned. Like I said, that could, if it is successful, it could eat up 600 million, could even go higher of Hex getting eaten up. It could be absolutely phenomenal. And that bodes super well for Hex. I'm telling you, it's massive for Hex. And a certain amount of that could be buying pressure on the Hex market. Like I say, another 4 million might get us to 10 cents and maybe another 8 or 9 million, 20 cents or something. So we will see in August. It's going to be interesting in August, man. It's a big, big time. And of course, the cool thing about August launch for these, if they manage to hit those targets, is that it will be after the big announcements from the Federal Reserve on the 27th with the interest rate rises, and also on the 28th with the initial second quarter GDP, whether that confirms a technical recession or not. So it'll be after that, which is good because you want to get that news out of the way and launch after that's happened. So that'd be pretty cool because I think that's going to actually impact the stock market and crypto market. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so where were we up to? I think we were looking at something else there. Can't remember now. We're going to go and look at the BNB charts. So let's check that out. Coming up on an hour, so that's not too bad. We're at 4/10 of a penny for Pulse Dodge, the original on BNB. Not much change since we talked about that earlier today. 13.7 cents, so just under 14 cents for P33. Not much change either. And of course, whoa, this is the talk of the town at the moment. So internet money on the BNB. This is actually successfully rallying up to 1,000. You guys know I've been talking about that for the last couple of days. And of course, it's finally hit the 1,000 mark. Now it's got to be able to get over it and then consolidate there would be the play. And then it's already starting to establish a higher low and a higher high compared to previous now. And of course, if it can establish itself above 1,000, it can actually build on that. So that's pretty bullish for IM. So interesting. It did have a good, like I say, probably a good showing on the first day of the Pulse conference run by Maddie Allen, where, Fashion Coder gave it a good talk up. And of course, KG, we've got a chance to talk about it as well in the team there. So pretty cool. Obviously, I'm looking forward to IMD and the Internet Money Wallet. I think it's going to be pretty good and certainly be one of the cool wallets, native wallets on Pulsechain and cross-chain. Remember, it's going cross-chain. So look forward to that. Finally, let's get to the weight token. Are you waiting? Are you really waiting for the weight token? I think most people said they were going to wait. We did a poll a couple of days ago. Most people said they are going to wait. And of course, oh man, we got pretty high there too. This is our daily for the current day. which is only a couple of hours in, maybe 5 hours in, and or 6 hours in, and we're already the high of the day is just under 8 cents, and we're currently just over 7 cents. I'm sorry, rephrase. 8/10 of a cent. Sorry, that's a very different number. 8/10 of a cent, and of course we're currently just at 7/10 of a cent. So we're at 1 cent is up here. So 1 cent up here. I apologize for that mishap there. That's kind of where we're at. I'm so polite. I don't know where it comes from. Hey, that's the way it goes. All right, cool. That is looking good. Most people are waiting, and of course, most people have not claimed that at this stage as well. And of course, David Feder said earlier when he was asked by Toxic that he is waiting as well. Pearl's in there with the old trucker. Katie says the Maxi team is trying to add these tokens so we get a double on Pulsechain as well. That's true, Katie. So everything that is on Ethereum is going to get copied over to Pulsechain. So you're getting 2 for 1 for the Maxi, 2 for 1 for the base, the trio, the Lucky, and the Dicky, and the team token. So that is a really good point there, Katie. What will happen in 6 months and 12 months and 12 months and 18 months and 2 years? They will still be bringing new things out and totally flood the market. Now, they are looking to further product developments because obviously some of that's going to flow in, benefits will flow into team token. But let's see what innovations they'll do possibly. They might do something completely different. We will see what they do there as well. They have been really innovative, I must agree, so far. And it money says ramping up nicely. Yep. Now, Jesse the Pit Boss made a point that if they're getting these bigger pays better bonuses and that's getting given to smaller investors, for example, who participate, that's more stuff that can be dumped on the market. But the point with that is that a lot of these stakes are perpetual. They just keep rolling over for 1 year rollover every year. People can redeem as well at that rollover point, not just mint, but they can redeem. And of course, the other thing, of course, is that we're growing fast, right? So we're growing fast. And of course, even if they get slightly higher yields, just like the big whales do, we're going to be growing much bigger than that, much faster rate of growth than any impact of that, what I call marginal play, in terms of that one big pooled shark stake. So it's kind of counter it. We're going to be growing fast and, of course, eating up a lot of that supply anyway. Archie says Mt. Gox also selling off their BTC in August. Archie, I don't think it's going to happen quite like that. And I was talking to someone else earlier in the community, and of course, I just don't think it's going to quite play out that severe. There'll definitely be some selling, obviously, depending on the directions. Now they've got Bitcoin, they've got Bitcoin Cash, and of course they've got Japanese yen. And so we'll see what they do with that. But I don't think it's quite play out quite like that. So we'll see. Pulsechain says I had 2 accounts claiming. Wait, says Pulsechain. It's funny. What did you buy though, Pulsechain? What did you buy with it? Did you put it into something else? Let us know if you put it into something else. That'd be cool. All right, we're coming up to an hour. Pretty good, man. 6:30. Nice. I think that's a good place to finish. Don't you guys think so? And of course, don't forget to get into Discord. If you're enjoying that Discord, videos descriptions in the link there. Sorry, the link is in the video description. How about that? I put the wrong way around. Jesse, recent night there, just asked Jesse. Jesse got very excited there, but I didn't think of much of it. But hey, it was always nice to get a heads up, even if it turns out just to be some bug stuff, as David Feder pointed out earlier. Cool VIP, as we said, cool VIP. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'll put a timestamp later on after the video, later on to this evening to make sure that people can flow through, since I had to have that little intermission there with the old Richard Hart business, Fox Business. Hey, I'm looking forward to hope Richard gets on other stuff like CNBC and stuff like other stuff. That'd be pretty cool as well. Nice. All right. Who else there? Pulsechain says, nice. Saved it and bought more as well, says Pulsechain. Nice. I like that. Oh, he saved it and bought more. Nice one, Pulsechain. All right. I think that's it. Is that what we're up to? Yeah, I think an hour's pretty good for today's live stream. We did 2 live streams today. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to have 2 more live streams, Pulsechain, Hex, and Hex twice a day. And of course, we're going to have a lot more stuff coming as well. We've got more interviews coming. So that's what we just started doing interviews a lot on this channel. We're going to ramp that up moving ahead. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we're going to have some vlogging happen too. Vlogging just about got the gimbal almost arrived. It's almost about to land. So we'll get to that too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Weight will turn into tide, says Possibility. Yeah, probably. Big shout outs for that. All right, let's play out some things. A big thanks to everybody. 5,000 subscribers. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That is so good. really is so good. And of course, the Hex price there looking pretty tight, pretty tasty. Remember, this had a 94.5% pullback, the 2.8 cents there back on the 19th. And now we're back up at 4.3 and looking kind of bullish here on the chart here. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how that plays out. It's now says Boss. Yeah, Boss. Rags interview was good today. Yeah, it was such a pleasure to have Rags to Riches. I haven't met these guys before. I see them on YouTube. I admire them. And they've done so much for Pulsechain, Hex, and spreading the word. And of course, now they've got a particular cause that they're supporting as well. I think it's pretty key. Cool. Also, the adoption onto Pulsechain of another no coin, a big community. It will take them a while to get through that, but I think it's an amiable cause, and both in terms of Pulsechain adoption and, of course, their political cause. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, lots of exciting things. What we got? 130 projects maybe on Pulsechain, natively Pulsechain at the moment. And I imagine by the time Pulsechain launches, we'll probably have 300 or something like that, or maybe more. Who knows? There's so many devs coming into the space. It really is crazy, crazy good. So very cool. All right. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, says Pulse about it. Absolutely. Let's play some funky music out. We're going to, instead of playing our usual one, we're going to play the latest Liquid Loans DApp. How about that? It's got a little beat on it too. Take care. I'm going to play a little encore as well, so stay tuned for the encore. It's going to be fun. All right. Party on. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bitcoin's amazing run. Went up, 23x in so many days. Green line up, parabola, fell out of the parabola, red line. Do I run a paid group or I just make amazing price calls for free? I make amazing price calls for free. I called the Bitcoin top on the day. Did I charge you for it? Did I charge you anything for the education? No. Why? Because I've been a retired multimillionaire since 2003. I brag about it all the time. I called the top. And I told you last cycle, Ethereum topped 27 days after Bitcoin did. This cycle, Ethereum topped exactly 27 days after Bitcoin did. Exact same thing. Yep, there you go. Bitcoin's great run.
This one?
Here's where we fall out of the parabola. Yep. Just click the chart. Hey, look, we're going up. Oh, look, we're not going up no more. Doom time. And check the timestamp, and that timestamp equals the picture in the chart. That's where I called the top. Anytime we get one of these big run-ups, which, by the way, is usually following by a crash, which I think we are due for the rest of the crash. We're already down half. I think we'll go down another 75% to an 85% total drop.
Wait,
Nobody else thinks that.
80% total drop for what?
I think Bitcoin will tap $10,000 from its high of 65,000 because that's what it normally does. It drops 85%. Ethereum usually drops 95% because it has lower liquidity, so it acts like a leverage position on Bitcoin to some degree. Well, so Bitcoin runs up, ETH runs up higher.
The people in the Bitcoin ecosystem tell me, look, Bitcoin is unlikely to do what it has been doing in the past couple of cycles, which is drop 80%, precisely because new institutional money have already been placed in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Institutional investors now with more money are likely to make the coin less volatile, so to speak.
It's not true.
How would you respond to that?
They're wrong and I'm right. And I believe that we already had our top at 65K on Bitcoin, 4,400 on Ethereum, and I think we'll find new lows. I think you'll see Ethereum down at 300. I think you'll see Bitcoin down at 10,000 because historically that is what they have done in the past. And if you try and play the this time is different game, you're going to lose all your money. Usually it's not different. Usually history tends to repeat itself. Usually the market behavior rhymes. It's not identical, but it rhymes. The top for Bitcoin in this cycle, which had just, I guess, made a new top, so it was a local top, but it lasted 6 months, I called it on the day. I said, this is a top. So Bitcoin went from $65,000 down to $30,000. I think it might even went 29.5, 28, something like that, depending on what exchange you're on. And so it dropped 55% from that day. And how did I know it was that day? Because it fell out of the parabola and everyone had their eyes on a single day. It was the easiest call ever. But it didn't go down the 85 like it normally did. It only went down 55 and now it went up again. But because it went up again, I don't know if it could do a double top. It could just be a temporary higher high and it could go make a new low and make everyone very sad. It took 6 months to make a slightly higher high from 65 to 69. And now
you predicted 60K. Are you prepared to make a prediction on the low?
Yeah, 85% drop. So it was 10K, but now that we went up to 69, it's 11K. I believe in the 85% drop. I believe in people selling the bottom. I believe in the pain. And I don't believe in people buying $1 million JPEGs forever and being profitable forever. Nope. These are reflexive systems. People buy because they go up. They sell because they go down. It went down more than 50%. It fell out of the parabola. When things fall out of parabolas, they drop 85%.
Bullish?
On Bitcoin? No.
Are you bullish on Ethereum?
No.
Why not?
The market's already had a bull run for 3 years. Ethereum already did a 50x. Jimmy Fallon of The Tonight Show has an NFT for his profile picture. El Salvador bought it. Michael Saylor bought it. The world's richest guy bought it. Who didn't buy yet? Who hasn't heard of it yet? You've been in a bull run for 3 years now. You dropped out of the parabola. You dropped 55%. By the way, I called the top on the day. And that top call was good for 8.5 months now and only out of profit one single day by about 6%. Even less than 6%, actually. And I do that for free.
So it's down 38% now.
Yeah.
Does that mean that this is a good time to buy? What's going on? Where's it going next? No?
No, when it falls out of the parabola, it goes up with a parabolic rise. When it falls out of the parabola, it tends to drop 85% of its value. So 85% down from 69K is 11K. Hello, everybody. Richard Hart here. I called the Bitcoin top on the day 10 months ago while everyone else told you it was going to $100,000. There was a 65K top, and then it went down 55% under 30K, and then it bounced. It went up to 69. Back down to doom again. Now it's at 35. So, bounces aren't illegal. You do get bounces. As a matter of fact, I called a bounce, and my tweet was the literal exact bottom of the bounce. I said, look, we're due for a 12% bounce. We got the 12% bounce, and then we went and did new doom. Who does it better? Nobody. Nobody does it better. I mean, look, I won't tell you I hate bragging because I kind of like it, but I deserve it, man. And that's why I changed my username to I called the Bitcoin top. And who are they putting on TV? People that got you wrecked.
Here it is. Here's the first one. Here's the second one, which is why I brought you back here today, because you did call the top right. I don't think many people gave you the credit because.
It's hard, man. It's hard to take the opposite position to absolutely everyone else, but sometimes you have to.
Where's the next low then for Bitcoin?
Traditionally, Bitcoin drops 85% after a parabolic blow-off top. This cycle was different because the government, it should go down to about 11K. So since it was...
That's a reasonable expectation.
Agree. Yes, because it's what it has been doing for decades. It always drops 85%.
What's going to happen to Hex?
Hex continues to have giant dips like it always has, but it also makes new all-time highs. You got to understand that an 80% dip only cancels out a 5x pump. And when you have a 1,000,000% pump, you would have to drop 99999999999% to cancel it out. Bitcoin had its run.
It's not had its run. Bitcoin's early days, man. Bitcoin's going to have its real run.
Dude that bought 13-year-old bag that just got here is like, yo, I didn't buy the top. I called the top of the day. You did not. You probably dollar cost averaged into the top on the day. Like, I'm telling you as a person that knows more about Bitcoin than you. I called the Bitcoin top on the day 11 months ago. Who else called the top on the day? Nobody. I called the top on the day, and it's been in profit every single day except one. It's a little tiny day where it made a little Judas candle, got everybody long, a fake breakout, and then went straight down. Dropped 55% after that little fake out candle. What else? Yeah, called tops on the day for free. Free YouTube YouTube.com/Richard Hart, you name it. We're just living the dream out here. You know, we're doing everything better, and people are starting to figure it out. They're starting to go like, oh, wow, those guys are really killing it. Big Simp 69 asks, have I ever called the Bitcoin top? Yes, I have. More than once. He took on leverage. He encumbered his Bitcoin that he has to get more Bitcoin at a higher price. And now he gets liquidated at 21K. And I think the price will go down to 11K.
Do you think he took out collateralized loans?
Yeah, he bragged about it. He tweeted about it and bragged about it. You know, he took on 200 million of leverage from Silvergate Bank with a Bitcoin collateralized loan. And it's just reflexivity. So now, instead of never having to get liquidated, now you've got a leverage position. And what are the 3 ways smart people go broke? Liquor, ladies, leverage.
Yeah. So once again, Richard Hart doing victory laps. Call top of the day. Bitcoin, told you 27 days later, Ethereum, it did the same. Told you don't pick up pennies in front of freight trains. Withdraw your money, not your keys, not your coins. Celsius stops withdrawals today. Celsius is down 99%. I can't be more right. I'm always right. It's like, it just sucks that the things I'm right about are things that are getting, people are just choosing to get themselves wrecked. I know. What else I can do for you? You know, it's crazy.
People are like, oh, you were bullish in November of 2017. You're like, yeah. And then the price went up. And then when right before the price started going down, I called it. Like, people are so dumb. They don't update their worldview. Ethereum used to suck. It used to only have scams on it. Then it kicked ass. Yeah. And now it's too expensive and too full. So I have to launch a new thing called Pulsechain. So, you know, like you have to update your worldview. Technology is a constantly evolving process. And if you don't update your worldview, you're just going to get left behind. The craziest part of the helicopter is when he does his turns and you're like hard to the right, hard to the left. This, you know, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's more fun than just kind of like going like that. You can tell how far up we are because the trucks that move all of the land and the earth around doing mining and stuff, they look like little Tonka toys. They're like little yellow dots. When the engine stops, you die straight.
If the pilot has a heart attack, who's jumping in the seat, me or you?
You, because you're closer. And you've flown on an airplane before, so it's you. True. I'll complain though from my side.